Welcome to the Digital Marketing for Business Owners podcast with Mike Nkube. Learn about the latest in digital marketing and social media, plus tips, tutorials and techniques to help you grow your business. And now, here's your host, Mike Nkube.
In this episode, I'll be talking about blogging and quality content, and the title is 8 Factors That Affect the Quality of Website Content. Now, if you're a business and you have a blog or regularly create website content, there are factors that you need to consider to make it the best quality content, because many of your customers or your visitors are looking for information that's going to help them to decide whether your products are ideal for what they need, or just any general information to do with your industry or whatever sort of needs and wants that your visitors or customers have. Now, quality website content is a must if you intend to reach new customers and acquire new visitors, or even increase search engine rankings and raise your brand awareness, or whatever other objectives you have as a business. There are obviously challenges in creating content, and one of them is that it does take quite some time to plan your content marketing strategy and get people who have the experience to produce that content if you can't do it yourself. Whatever approach you take, it's important that you're regularly creating content and that it's of the highest quality and just puts your business in a better position, especially compared to your competitors. Now, there are 8 factors that enhance the quality of website content, and I'll go through these now. And the first one is personalized content. Now, with personalized content, we are talking about content that's targeted to specific people who visit the site, or sort of a specific segment of people who visit your website. Now, Amazon is one website that tends to come into mind when you talk of personalization, because when you get to Amazon, you get a lot of recommendations, for example, for products that you've viewed in the past, or based on any purchases that you've made. And what you sometimes get to see is recommendations for products that other people have purchased, which are similar to the ones that you're looking at, or even the top rated products in those categories and so on. So that's information that's sort of personalized to the visitor, and that helps a lot to keep people engaged and to increase sales and so on. Now, that's mostly on the e-commerce side of things, where there's the option for people to place an order and transact with the website. Also, with non-transactional website, there are ways of personalizing content. It's not as straightforward as the e-commerce site, because you tend to have a lot more information with e-commerce websites. But on non-transactional websites, if you understand your target audiences and the various audiences that you want to target, you can create sections on your website, and using menus and tabs, you can create links that take them to areas that they can find out more information about whatever services and products that you offer, whether that's in a business to business context or business to consumer, or services and so on. So personalization is very important, and that really helps to bring up the quality of the website content. Now, that's the first factor. The second one is easy to find. Your content should be easily accessible on your website, and that means visitors should not spend a considerable amount of time trying to get to the information that they need. This should generally happen within a few clicks of getting to your website, and good navigation is a critical factor, because if your navigation is not structured properly, it becomes harder for people to see where they are and where they want to go. So one of the things that you can use is breadcrumbs on specific pages, which show your visitors on what page they are, what level it is, and how they can get back to the home page and so on. And again, that sort of helps not just with the human side of people coming to your website, but the search engine robots as well. And the better your site is structured, the better you're going to rank in the search results. And that's going to be even for deeper pages on your website. So especially if you've got a large website with lots of pages and so on and many levels deep, you want to make sure that it's structured properly and don't have too many levels. Obviously try and keep it to a minimum, because that's going to make a difference in terms of indexing of your pages and so on. Another factor that makes content quality high is having timely content, and basically that means content should be produced, submitted and promoted in a timely manner to reach your target audiences when they are most receptive to it. So sometimes it would be helpful to have like a content calendar, which allows you to post at specific times of the year that are important to your business. For example, Christmas is one of those seasons or times when certain types of content work well, and if you've got that in your calendar, you can start preparing for that months in advance, and that will help you to reach and connect with your website visitors and keep them on the site longer and also bring them back. So timely content is very important. Even news related content is quite helpful because it gets you ranking higher in the search engines, and it means your site is updated constantly, and you become a very important source for many people to come back to your site and use and consume the data and information that you have to provide there. Now, the other factor is content should be up to date, and that means you should regularly blog and put up fresh content on your website. Now, if people come to your website or your blog and they find that some of the posts are months old or a year old and so on, it doesn't give them that confidence that they can come back and find some new content that they can read upon or use for whatever they need to use it for. So make sure that you're updating that regularly, and obviously the main benefit is that the more you update your content and your blog posts and so on, the larger your site is going to be, and that just gives you a boost in the search engines because you've got more index pages, which generally tends to mean more keywords that you're targeting, and that brings back more people to the website because they search on Google and Bing and Yahoo and so on, and then they click through to your site, and you benefit from a lot of traffic and sales and leads, whatever objectives that your business has. So content should be always up to date, and your blog should always be up to date, and to do that you should publish new posts and content regularly. And for your static pages, it's always important to update any old information or information that is out of date. If any facts sort of need to be updated, you should have a system in place to make sure that you update that, because anything that is out of date, just with your target audiences, it makes them lose that confidence in your business and what you have to say on your website, which also ties in with the next point or factor, which is point number 5. Your content should be accurate. So sometimes something that you say today is going to be outdated in a year or so make sure that you're always checking your facts, and whoever is providing content to the site should be trusted and make sure that it's error-free and that you've got a process in place to check that all the facts are correct. This is just to make sure, people have confidence in your site and what you have to say. And it just builds that trust and helps to spread the word about your website and offers to your visitors' own circles. So content should definitely be accurate, and a blog is also another way to make your content as accurate as possible. So anything that you've posted some years back, you don't necessarily have to change it on a blog and so on, but you can create new posts and update that just in line with whatever is happening in your industry at that point in time. The next point is content should be clear, and points and facts should be explained clearly and should leave no ambiguity. So your content should be understood by your target audiences, and you should keep technical jargon to a minimum, especially if they have to search around and look for further explanations of what you're saying on other websites. Because if they go to other website, there's a high chance that you're going to lose them for good. So try and make it as clear and as simple to understand as possible. And obviously don't make this mistake that many blog and website owners make: grammar and spelling errors. Those just reduce the confidence and trust that many people who've put into your website have. So make sure everything is 100% correct, and that you have minimum errors on your site, and make sure that whoever is uploading content fully understands this. Another factor to high quality content is that it should be detailed, and that means you should provide enough information. One way of doing that is maybe not on specific pages, but you can have a knowledge base or a resource section with FAQs and articles and case studies and so on that people can refer to if they need additional information. So they can either download that, or it's actually specific pages on the website. So provide as much detail as you need to convince people that you know what you're talking about and they get the information that they need, and so on. And another factor to quality content on your website is content should be relevant. It should be created specifically for the people you want to reach and no one else, and they should be able to get it as soon as they land on your website. So make it as relevant as you can, and don't include anything that veers away from what your visitors and customers understand your business to be about. So relevance is probably one of the most important factors before you consider anything else, because that's one of the things that people are coming to your website for, because they've got that belief that what they're going to find on your website is what they actually need. So those are the 8 factors that affect the quality of website content, and you should constantly work on these and make sure that you're producing the best quality content and blog posts and whatever other type of content that you're creating for your website.
You've been listening to Mike Nkube with the Digital Marketing for Business Owners podcast, helping you grow your business online.